And let me just welcome all of you from the various media houses in Dominica to this weekly press conference as we really move full gear into the last couple of weeks before the station of the 14th Annual World Creole Music Festival here in Dominica. We are pleased once more to give you an update in terms of our preparations for the festival and to in fact introduce several of our partners, new and some old, who are working with us for the station of this year's festival. We are pleased that this year, as partners, we can call on the support of the Fortium Hotel, and Fortium will play a particular role in assisting us to meet and greet the media and some of the artists just before the festival. We want to introduce once again SAT Telecoms, who have been a feature in terms of partnering with the Dominica Festivals Committee over the last several years in being a partner and sponsor of the festival. Also, Tropical Shipping. Tropical Shipping has been a long-standing partner. In fact, if I can recall, they've been there from the very first festival and providing shipping to the festival over the 14 years of the festival's life. In addition, we want to highlight the support of Harris Paints, Domlec, the Green Team, the Green Mountain Flowers, Mark Plants, and Desmond Augustine Green Farms for the music, Clifftop Cleaning and Maintenance, and we expect a few more partners and sponsors in the coming days. We want to again express our thanks and deepest appreciation to all of those and others who have come forward to support this important event in Dominica, October 29th to the 31st. Ladies and gentlemen, quite a lot has happened and has been happening since we last met last Wednesday. Of course, we can report that we had the first Creole Lime last Friday on the Roseau Bayfront, and this Friday we'll be moving to the second town of Portsmouth for the second Creole Lime. This is for us an important event because it really sparks the lights for the Creole vibes and the Creole jam, or the Creole vibration, if you will, before we get to the free nights of Paul City and Ribbon. And again, we want to express our thanks to National Bank of Dominica for its support in the staging of the Creole Lions, the free nights of the Creole Lion. So I say this Friday will be in Portsmouth, and next Friday we'll be back in Roseau for the finale of the Creole Line. We also want to announce that this Friday, the Salisbury community, together with DFC, will be doing something special and unique. And I know that our dear friend and colleague, Leroy Wadeko Charles, has been really hard in doing that. And we want to announce the launching of Cadas Lipso legend, Derek Peters of the Mahmoud fame out of Salisbury, that will be happening in Salisbury, the community of Salisbury, the West Coast, this Friday from about 8 p.m. What is going to be happening is that the Salisbury Reunion Committee and the Salisbury Enhancement Committee, as part of their weekly or their Friday night, in fact every Friday night they've been having a series of activities to promote the reunion in Salisbury. So this Friday, we'll be taking the opportunity to launch Derek Peters as part of that event. And basically it is to give the people of Salisbury, and of course Dominica, a chance to know more about Derek Peters and to in fact promote the 14th Annual World Creole Music Festival. So from about 8 p.m, Wadix will be doing a live radio link-up, and we'll be doing some of the whole thing set up to in fact introduce and launch Derek Peters as one of the Canal stars on this year's festival. As you know that several of our Cadas legends will be performing on the middle night of the festival, October 30th, Saturday, October the 30th. So it will be a chance to launch Derek Peters. I can also report that last week I was in St. Lucia and I was able to do one major media appearance with one of our partners in St. Lucia, and I can report that the feeling on the ground in St. Lucia is very strong in terms of the festival. People like the lineup, and I've been hearing that we'll be having a big crowd over St. Lucia. So those of you from St. Lucia listening, it's not too late to go out and to purchase your airline or your ferry tickets to come to Dominica, because there'll be other friends of yours coming to St. Lucia, to Dominica for the Creole Festival and the other activities to mark our independence celebrations. There's a lot of activity on the Wave Radio promoting the festival and other activities in Dominica, I can say. And so we want to again express, you know, the friendship, the bond of friendship that exists between Dominica and St. Lucia, and to thank them and to compliment them for supporting the events in Dominica again. We will give you an update in terms of the operational aspects of the festival, and I want to ask our executive or events director to do so before we call on two of our sponsors.
Good day to Dominicans listening in Dominica and further afield. My name is David Andrew, and I have just taken over as the superintendent in charge of the Central Division and in charge of operations. And this major event, which is a national one, falls squarely under my portfolio, and I'm going to endeavor to ensure that things continue as it has been in the past, and even to be taken to the next level. The police, as you know, we are charged with the responsibility for law and order. We are the major law enforcement agency, and therefore we will perform our duties in and around the Windsor Park Stadium to ensure peace, tranquility and safety of all. We will be partnering with other stakeholders, like of course the Dominica Festivals Commission and Committee, and volunteer groups, private security and many others. Our task of policing the event will be basically in three parts. We'll be dealing and developing plans of security for the venue security, the traffic management and control area, and the crime prevention area. Just to give you a little idea and overview, in the venue security area, we are looking at inconveniencing some people, and be prepared for that, members of the public. We'll be doing some searches of bags and your persons. We'll be scanning you with these electronic devices, and we will be putting things in place to minimize, if not eliminate, any disorderly conduct, even on the grounds where people will be attempting to revel with the sounds of music. We will give you at a later stage some procedures for entry and the exits, and various tagging and identification cards. At a later stage, we will give you a little more details on that. Traffic management will also be dealt with. We have the head of traffic department here, Mr. Superintendent Ainsworth Irish, but he will be telling you a little more at a later stage, but he'll give you an overview as to how he's going to deal with that part of it. But essentially, we'll be looking at the traffic-free zone area, the plans for that, the regulation of the main access to and from the venue, and the traffic signs and areas that will be barricaded. Also, we'll be dealing with limited parking and advising you as to the carpooling process. Crime prevention will also form a critical part in the whole security plan, and we at a later stage will give you some crime prevention tips. We'll be telling you about your home security and the security of your cars. We will also be providing and setting up special patrols for the entire perimeter and further afield of that event. This, in a nutshell, is a foundation on our security plan, which is presently being developed. It will be completed within the next few days, and once we have it completed, we'll be able to give you a little more details and specifics, both to traffic and the security itself of the venue. With no further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Irish, who's just going to give you a little overview as to the development of that security plan.